Now, folks, Milton will likely be a storm that is retired because it will produce catastrophic damage. Now, what are the other named storms and how is it eerily similar to the last named storm? Well, that's pretty interesting, and we researched it. Hurricane Milton will cause extensive damage to Florida. The name Milton will likely be retired. Why? Storms are retired if they cause significant destruction or loss of lives, or a very strong system like Milton has been across the Atlantic. Now, folks, here's the list of retired M-named storms going all the way back in time. Marilyn back in 95, Mitch in 98, Michelle in 2001. But look at that, a stretch in 2016 to 2018, Matthew, Maria, and Michael. So before we had Milton, we had Hurricane Michael was the last M-named storm that was retired from the list. All right, folks, when we look at the track of M-named storms in the Atlantic, we see that most of them originate here in the eastern Atlantic and tend to recurve out to sea. Now, the one that stands out is Hurricane Michael. Incidentally, Michael was a hurricane between October 6th and the 15th, so the same time frame as Milton, and not too far off the track. It impacted the panhandle of Florida and then came up into the eastern parts of the Carolinas. So there's some eerie similarities between Milton and Michael being a Category 5 storm with maximum sustained winds of 140 miles an hour, but the same time frame and impacting Florida. Now, folks, we want to talk about tropical activity in our area. We have a historically much lower threat to have any impacts from storms in October. We have about the same threat as June, which is very low probability of getting impacted by a storm. August and September, of course, we have the most impacts from any tropical storm. Now, we look through the list of hurricanes and tropical systems that have impacted West Virginia. Here's the list of names, and there are no M-named storms on the list. Of course, later in the year or early next year, when and if Milton gets retired, we will let you know. And of course, the World Meteorological Organization will have to replace that name with another one. So M has been a very common name to be retired from the Atlantic hurricane list. Chief Meteorologist Chad Merrill for Newswatch.